Arrow here, being Brown at Work Live, my favorite time of the week. And as you can tell, I'm on my phone because I don't know what's going on with my laptop, but that's why we always have other devices and we just shift. We pivot when we need to pivot. And so that's what I'm doing today. I think it's a Wi-Fi issue and whatever that. But anyway, we are back, and I'm continuing the session that I started several weeks ago because it's that time of year where it's performance review time, and we are either on edge. We don't know how to move through this time period. It can become quite difficult for us to be successful in this time of the year. So I wanted to make sure that I focused some of this conversation around this time of year. And this particular episode, in particular, our focus is going to be, so you've had that discussion, right? And yet again, you get passed over. You think you're going to get either an opportunity to work on an initiative, or you think you're going to get a promotion that you had your eyes set on, and it didn't happen again. Once again, it didn't happen. And why? I mean, what in the world is going on where you continually get passed over? So I want to talk about that in this session because I think it's extremely important for us to realize that, and I've said this before many, many times, for those of you that follow me on a regular basis, I've said this. We focus on the doing. We focus constantly on doing, right? We focus on the fact that we have that certificate. We focus on the fact that we went and got that professional licensing. We focused on the fact that of the degrees, which all of that is important. Don't get me wrong, all of that is extremely important. And it is what got you in the door. But the reason why, yet again, you're in this spiral of being passed over is because you're doing what I did early on in my career. And that is, I was not focused on being. I was hitting the home runs everywhere else, and I was not focused on being. So here is what you need to do. We're going to talk about actual steps you need to take, right? In order to shift yourself out of the spiral of being overlooked so that you can get that next level opportunity. First, it starts with getting, and I talked about this in the last session, getting really good, valuable, actionable feedback. And if it's not just in the review session, don't wait till the performance review. Ask for a 360, because here's the key. And this is what I work with my clients on. You know how you want to be perceived. You know how you want to be viewed. But are other people viewing you in that way? Right? Are other people viewing you in the way you want to be perceived or you believe you should be? The only way to know that is to get a 360. It's not the only way. It's one of the ways. It's one of the best ways is to get a 360. There's other ways, right? You hear me talk about building relationship, having one-on-one conversations. But I find that 360s, because they're anonymous, people will truly tell you exactly fully what they think, what they believe, what they see, what they experience when they experience you. So get a 360. And then here's the key. Once you get that feedback, first of all, help yourself understand how powerful it is, the value of having it, right? And if you need some help with that, talk to a mentor, talk to an accountability partner, talk to your girlfriend, your best friend. Help yourself understand that there is power in that 360 feedback. That'll help you from not walking down that personal attack path, but truly see the information as value and power and what you can use to leverage, right? And here's the other part. Put a mirror up in front of your face and say, look, I have not arrived. There's work that I need to do, and it's going to require that introspective deep dive. So when you get that feedback, the first thing that you're going to want to understand is that personal Linda, is that personal Jennifer, is that personal Tanya, whatever your name is that personal person showing up professionally? And I guarantee you that you are, because you've heard me say time and time again that who you are professionally is who you are personally. You've heard me say that time and time again. You can't be two different people, right? And so once you get your handle around and you really sit in who you are personally is who you are professionally, then you do that introspective work and you couple that with that 360 feedback, and you'll see, oh my gosh, that's why when I'm coming down the hall, that person goes the opposite direction, because I'm not approachable, because I walk around with whatever's happening to me in my life. I walk around, or has happened, right? In the past, I walk around with that. And so therefore I'm not approachable. That's the introspective, peel back the onion work that really needs to be done. I can't tell you, out of all the clients I've worked with, I'm gonna be frank, there's not been one that hasn't had multiple aha moments and really had clarity around why they have been passed over when we did that peel back. When we did that peel back, it was absolutely clear to them why they had been passed over. Now, I will tell you, in some circumstances, they were not in the right environment. So they had to make a shift. They had to get out of that environment that they were in, because no matter how much work they really did on themselves, it would not be accepted or recognized or rewarded. So if that's your situation, I respect that. If you fully have assessed it and you know that where you are is not the place for you. But I would implore you to do that assessment first, really deep and introspectively, before you jump, right? Because I have another saying, everywhere you go, there you are, right? So if you haven't done that and you just decided to hang your hat on it and you move on to somewhere else, wherever you go, there you are. And you've taken yourself and all of your issues to that next opportunity, and you're creating the same situation. Right? That's why it's so important for us to have accountability partners. It's so important for you to work with a coach, for you to work with someone who has your best interest at heart and can really put that mirror up in front of you. I guarantee you, because I know it's worked for me, it's worked for the many clients I've worked with, that when you do that deep work, when you really peel back the onion, you shift from being wished you were being perceived or seeing yourself as one way and somebody else seeing you a different way, to connecting the dots and shifting that narrative to where you are seen the way you should be. You've strengthened all those gaps, bridged them, and you're seen the way and you can grow from that point. The two are connected. Your perception, the way you walk out, your personal brand, everything else is connected to how people truly experience you. And then you are not passed over from that point on. Doesn't happen going forward. So if you're struggling in this area, this time of year is always that time of year, right? A performance review time. And this is going to be the last session I do on this performance review section. But it's that performance review time where we're yet again having a set of expectations and they're not met. But we haven't done our part of being, one, prepared. So along the year, as I mentioned last week, getting that feedback, actionable steps that you could have taken throughout that year or the year before, we didn't do that work. And now we're also here adding on top of that the fact that we did not make the connection of who we are personally is who we are professionally. And we did not, like Linda didn't early in my career, I didn't pay any attention to being, did not pay any attention to how I was showing up. And then I wondered why I kept getting passed over. And I did for years. Let me tell you, it wasn't just for 1 year or two, it was for multiple years that I got passed over because I didn't do that kind of work. And it's when I shifted and did it, everything changed. And it continued to change from that point on. So if you need some more clarity around your specific situation, and I'm on this phone now dealing with these challenges technically, so I may not see your chats coming in. If you're dealing with this particular situation, send me a DM, send me an email, put a comment in whatever vehicle you're seeing this, either live on a replay, and let's talk about your specific situation. But I guarantee you it's in that space that I've already shared, and if you do those steps that I gave you, clarity will be yours. And then a true plan and roadmap to not being passed over again can also be yours to walk through and to experience fully. Absolutely guarantee it. I've worked with many women over the past 5, 6 years that I have had this business and been doing this. There has not been one that none of these steps have worked. Not one, not one. So thank you for joining me. If you caught this live, if you caught it on the replay, or if you're listening to it on the podcast, I'd love to see your comments, love to get your feedback. And if you need any help with those actionable steps, let me know. We can definitely help you get unstuck. There's no doubt about that. Until